This is going to be a slightly short video today, since I'm still coming out of being sick from whatever I had, sinus infection, flu, allergies, I don't know. So I'm still coughing to a point, and the more I talk, the worse it gets. So I'm going to keep it slightly short. Hey, Mindy. There's a lot of people in benzo withdrawal and just issues, in situations like mine who are concerned about getting a vaccine and stuff like that. And I took one for the team, basically, and I will, whether you agree with me or not, or what you think of the vaccine, doesn't really matter to this story. But I'm just going to let you know how it's affecting me and stuff like that, so you can make informed decisions. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mindy. I know the feeling. I know the feeling of being bad off years after the fact. So recently I've been, turn off that light back there and relax a little bit. Recently I got pretty sick. It was 2 weeks and a day ago. I got pretty sick. Didn't know what it was. I tested for COVID like 3 times because I swore it would be, and it wasn't. So I'm sure allergies and flu and stuff like that. I had 101.5 temperature. I'm still coughing, but that's calmed down a lot. Hey. And I'm feeling better from that. So there's nothing like being sick in general when you're in benzo withdrawal, but my lungs are still really fucked up. That's why I swore I would have had COVID, I would have sworn. But I have bad lungs in general, very weak, and yeah, so no fun. And the last thing I needed was to get COVID on top of everything else I deal with. I don't want to end up in the hospital. I don't want to end up in the hospital for anything. But I've spent the last year doing my own research and doing what's best for me. Hey, nice to see you. So I do what's best for me. It might not be what's best for you. The information you have might be something that you wouldn't get it. But for me, I was okay with getting it. I honestly couldn't even handle the stress of going back and forth for so long with should I get it? Should I not get it? Will it make me really sick? Will it do this, that, and this and that? So there was a lot in my head going on about it and what I want to do about it and how I want to approach it and stuff like that. It was definitely a huge deal for me. I was never if I wasn't in benzo withdrawal, I probably would have got it within the first week. But people in benzo withdrawal, hi Terry, people in benzo withdrawal have to decide, because if you normally do get vaccines, being in benzo withdrawal is a whole different world. Man, you're going to have a lot of people telling you a lot of information about them and good and bad, and you gotta all take some of it with a grain of salt, So, so I decided to do it, and I got the one shot Johnson and Johnson, and yeah, I could have done the two, but being in benzo withdrawal, if I got too severely sick, I would have never got the second shot. So I figure something is better than nothing, because my top priority is staying out of the hospital, and hopefully that'll do it, and either way, I'm still careful, and I'll do my best to not get it either way. I'm just too compromised, and I think a lot of people who are, it's just what I think, I mean, a lot of people who don't want the vaccine are, get a lot of scary information, and it turns you into, and it turns it into a situation where it's just, you're scared of it, or there's a lot of misinformation, and there's a lot of good information, but the information's out there, but not everything's a government ploy to, chip you. What's up, Scott? So I did go get the vaccine. This was yesterday morning, like 11 o'clock. All the symptoms I had from getting it was weird. It was definitely weird, and it's been weird. I gotta say, it was very unexpected. And they told me, because I got it at 11 in the morning, and they told me, probably around the evening I'll start I might start feeling off or sick or whatever. It was literally 2.5 hours, 3 hours later, I started going through a massive wave. I didn't feel sick, but the benzo stuff just spiked hardcore. And I'm like, fuck, I hope this isn't exactly what, so this is not a huge trigger, because it ended up being okay. So don't worry. But the benzo symptoms skyrocketed. My insides were vibrating. Just everything was nuts, And that lasted for a good 4 hours. And then it started to calm down, and it started to turn into something else, more like normal sick kind of stuff. Not feeling well, really dizzy and stuff like that. Pretty typical, And last night I had severe body pain. Nothing I haven't been through before many times. So then I woke up, I felt pretty good. But things are cycling, one thing will, I forgot, yesterday I had an hour of really bad nausea. But when I woke up, I felt pretty good. I actually felt better than I've felt in a long time. And that was kind of short-lived. Throughout the morning, I'd say the afternoon. Once the afternoon hit, I took my girlfriend to lunch, and that was kind of downhill. I shouldn't have done that. My brain felt ready, but once I got to the restaurant, it was so busy, and all my sensory issues exploded like it did years ago. And it was, just trying to hold off raging anxiety, So that was no fun. When I got home, I felt better, and, I'm still fighting off being sick, from a few weeks ago, and now what I'm dealing with is a major migraine on this side of my head. My allergies are still going. My nose is running. That has nothing to do with that, but in general, it was way better than expected. And I'm sure I'm going to have some issues from it, from probably, I'm guessing a month of things kind of fluctuating a little bit, because I call what I have a nervous system disorder, because every time anything hits the nervous system, it's just kind of crazy. So I figure about a month of, you know, of some bullshit. But it's not as bad as expected, that's for sure. But then again, I just got it yesterday, so I got a little time to see what happens. But the major part, I think I've been through already. Yeah, I mean, it's a shot. It's going to set you back, no doubt. I mean, food sets me back, so definitely a shot will. But, and as you said, it is a weight off my back that I don't have to worry about. And it's huge for me. It may not be for some, and some may be against it and stuff like that. And I respect that. That's the thing. That's the thing, Scott. It was such a battle in my head, and I just some people just don't believe, that it's real, or some people just don't think that they would get hit really hard. You could, I mean, with COVID, it's so weird. You could just have a runny nose and a headache, and it could be COVID. Or you could be in the hospital on a ventilator with COVID. I mean, you just never know what direction it's going to take. When I saw last year that we hit 600,000 deaths, I mean, that's messed up. It's really sad. Just this week alone, and this was what really got me just to do it instantaneously, was 3 people, and I didn't know any of these people, but 3 people that my good friends know really well died this week. 3 musicians. Hey there. I'm not staying on too long, just because I don't want to over talk because of my coughing and stuff. But hi, nice to see you. But there were 3 musicians that were well respected, and that's, I was seeing my friends get really upset. And they just said, why didn't they just get vaccinated? They'd be alive today. I mean, nothing's 100%. We know that, but it probably would have kept them out of the hospital. I don't know what will happen with me. I have no idea, but I'm ready to deal with it. I never like getting set back. I'm always set back, but anything can happen. Oh, sucks. I'm doing okay. As a quick recap, after I got the shot, it was like 3 hours later, I had crazy benzo symptoms. And that lasted about 4 hours. It calmed down, and I got really nauseous and felt kind of sick last night. Massive body pain before I went to bed. But it's fluctuating between stuff. Like, that's really weird. I woke up feeling really good. I mean, for me, And then the afternoon, I started getting really weird again. And I went out to lunch with my girlfriend, and my sensory issues were off the charts because we went to a busy restaurant. I guess I wasn't ready for it. And I came home, felt better. I fell asleep for like an hour, and I'm fine. I mean, I've got a raging headache right now, but it's better than I expected. So, yeah. Hi, Elizabeth. It's karma. I get a little bit of sun. My allergies are so bad right now, I can't really get out. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, I don't see why it would make a difference anyway to get that being on mirtazapine. But yeah, no issues at all. I mean, I have my issues from the shot and from being compromised, but yeah. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I was thinking more like a month, so if it's only 2.5 weeks, I'll be very happy. Okay, Elizabeth. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Maybe tomorrow I can get out a little bit. Today is kind of like it's just not gonna happen today. But I'll definitely try to get more sun tomorrow. What you felt? I don't know what you're saying. Right now, I have a raging headache on this side of my head, which is fine. You know, normal person issues from a shot. My benzo symptoms aren't skyrocket. At least they don't feel like it's at home. But sometimes if I do something else, like when I take out my dog, like my head's pretty fucking whacked out. So, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've going from. It was weird that the benzo symptoms skyrocketed for like 4 hours. I was like kind of scared. I'm like, oh fuck, because it kind of happened right away. I'm like, this if this is what I'm expecting, but more. Oh shit, I fucked up. But it wasn't like that. Calm down, totally, and just not. I'm having pretty typical issues, but worse than most people, just because of a compromised nervous system and shit. And I imagine it's gonna go up and down, and be really weird. It's like my sensory issues are harsher now, but I imagine it's gonna be a little while before it gets back to normal. But I'm okay with that because honestly, well, I'm not okay with it, but that battle in my head was pretty rough. Yeah, it just wasn't. I appreciate that. It wasn't as bad as expected. I mean, it was just since yesterday at 11 a.m., and right now it's 5:04. So it's been over 24 hours. And I think the hugest part is over, but you just never know. Just never know. Yeah, everybody makes your own decisions, and I totally understand that. And it does affect your nervous system, and that's what I was really scared of. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. I wouldn't have done the two shot though, like so close together. I don't think I would have done that. It would have been way too much. So at least I'm partially protected. It's okay, Terry. I appreciate that, and I'm 100% support people who don't get it. The only reason I get kind of weird about stuff if like people don't get it because they don't believe it's real, like COVID's not real. That fucks with me because obviously it's real. But other than that, I totally understand. Yeah, that's what the doctor told me, Scott. They said 10 hours probably you'll start feeling it. I started feeling it 2.5 hours to 3 hours later. Holy shit. And literally 10 hours later, I was starting to feel better. Yeah, who knows, Elizabeth? I just know I have very compromised lungs. And honestly, with how I just got sick recently and my lungs are still fucked up, um, usually if I get sick and I start coughing, usually it lasts. I mean, I'm okay right now, but usually it lasts about 3 months. Oh, it's terrible. And if I did get a rough case of COVID, it could really be bad for me. So that was my decision. Brain fog's rough, but not as bad as expected right now. Fatigue is rough. I mean, earlier I slept for like an hour. I never fall asleep and dream during the day. I mean, when I take a nap once in a while, I might fall asleep for like 10 minutes, but really light. I just, I was out. I'm tired. It's weird. Arm hurts a little bit. Nothing major. Not like when I got the tetanus shot. That fucking hurt my arm bad. Oh, that was rough. It's feeling worse though. So I probably have to ice it. Oh, 0.9. That's so good. I'm at 1.2. I'm like totally not far from you. I was at that point at one time, but it's so good. I mean, I know it still seems so far away, but you're right there. I mean, everybody's going to react differently to a vaccine. I mean, if you're for getting a vaccine and you're really overthinking it, it's just not as bad as, you know, as it might be. Yeah, the lower we get on this mirtazapine, the harder it is. I know eventually, because I wanted to do the vaccine before I started tapering again. I just wanted to get that done and then give myself time to get back to normal, which my normal isn't very normal anymore because it would take me forever to get back to where I was before I fucked up that Remeron. But when I do, I'm going to go to 1.1. Well, 19 months is really good, and I'm really proud of you, Elizabeth. You're doing kick ass, and all those things are very normal for people that I've seen and confronted. Those pooling feelings and stuff like that, and that pain. Oh man, that sucks. I mean, I think mine kind of started letting up around 2 years. I mean, it took a while, but you're kicking ass, so just keep going. 22 milligrams. Ooh. Well, I know when you're on a higher dose of almost anything, you can kind of taper a little more than normal. Once you get down lower, though, just keep it slow. And that's what I warn people, because after I fucked that up, I just want people to know the lower you get, the worse it is. "65 days to taper down." Are you saying 65 days till your next cut, or what do you mean? Or you only have 65 to get off of it? Because if that's the case, that sucks. But no. Oh man, Elizabeth, those I just got off antibiotics too, which I think helped. I have no idea. So I get it. I'm set back by being sick. I'm set back by taking antibiotics, and I figured, fuck it, I might as well just get the vaccine and just fuck myself for a while. So yeah, I will definitely take your word about the sun. Oh, my head. Oh, it's about the sun though. Maybe I'll just put a mask on and take a walk. So that fucking mold outside is kicking my ass. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad you don't have to get off of it in 65 days because that would have been hard. Yeah, I plan on doing a cut every 2 months to 2.5 months. Thanks, Elizabeth. It's nice. But yeah, I figured, I mean, my cuts are going to be really slow, but they're still going to be kind of big, even though they're only 1 gram. But as you get lower, they get bigger. And if I go from 1.2 to 1.1, I'm just going to let it do its thing and sit there for a couple months. At 2 months, I'll reevaluate where I'm at. But I don't plan on. I've gone through a lot this summer. I'm sure I'll start tapering again during the winter. I know I want to be able to do the holidays with family this year because it's been a long time. But tapering, but it will be a dream come true to get off this medicine, and I hope we can do that together. It's so bad for both of us, and some people can handle it no problem. But wow, for me, it's just been absolutely atrocious. I don't even know how people deal with me anymore. So I'm going to sign off in a couple minutes just because I kind of feel that cough reflex kind of coming on. How much of a cut for me would just be 1 gram? Well, I don't go by percentages because the percentages are always way too big for me. So I'm just going to go to from 1.2 to 1.1 to 1.0 to 0.9 to 0.8 to 0.7. That's where I fucked up before, is because I started doubling that and I fucked it all up. Whatever. But I am starting to feel better. I'm trying not to overdo it, which I totally am. But once I can actually, like today, I've talked without coughing like crazy. Once I'm able to do that more, Scott, we'll definitely talk. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just like me. I wasn't on 15 milligrams, though. I was only at 7.5, but I know most people got from 15 to 7.5 kind of no problem. It was like kind of after that was the hardest, Yeah, we just have to do it, dude. I mean, it sucks, though, but just got to do it. It's harsh. For me, mentally, it's the worst. It's just the worst. We'll get out of it, no doubt. It's just going to take a lot more time than expected. That's kind of the problem. I didn't want it to take this fucking long. I should have been off of it a year ago if I went by how I was going to do it, but I didn't realize how fucked up it was going to get. I mean, after that last fuck up, oh my head. But now I just got to get through this, the next month of just dealing with after effects of, getting a shot. And I appreciate everybody for being cool about it. I know not everybody's supports, vaccines and stuff, and I appreciate that. I know I got in an argument the other day with AC, but I'm cool with AC. He's been, he's been fine. He has him and a lot of other people have different views and have different information about it that people are just trying to give to others, and I took it a little far and got angry about it. I don't hold any grudges with anybody, so it is what it is. I think I was just scared, just scared, and because I was right on the verge of getting the vaccine, and I just didn't want to, I had the tunnel vision of just going to do it, and I just didn't want to hear anything more negative, But in general, people are cool, and I appreciate that. All right, I'm signing off before I start choking. We did good today. It's been a few days since I've been on, so it's nice to see y'all. You guys take care, all right? Later.